This is Tao of Chow with MTG Forge, and today I wanted to talk to you about a question I hear a lot at my local gaming store. Now, a lot of times I hear about new players coming in, or I see new players come in, and they ask the people there, like, well, how do I get started? And invariably, they almost always get pointed towards an intro pack. Now, the thing is that really the best way to go? Like, the other option I generally hear is, well, just go online, find a deck that you like a top 8 deck, and just buy that deck. So just go and get a net deck. Now, neither solution is actually a really great one, for a couple of reasons. Like, first of all, it takes some skill to pile a net deck. Like, you can't just pick it up and just use it usually. You have to practice it, you have to know how the game works, and you have to know what to expect from your opponents. And if you're new to the game, it's not going to be that easy to just pick up a great deck and just use it like that. Also, for someone who's new to the game, it's kind of hard to tell them, like, hey, just pick up this awesome deck. It only costs $900, right? Like, it's kind of tough to, that's a steep barrier to entry. And if you say that, a lot of times the players will just drop out of the game and they won't just continue in. My issue with the intro pack, though, is especially with the new intro packs, is that they're basically built to be inferior. Like, that's what Wizards has said, is that, we're building these decks with inferior planeswalkers, and then they put them full of cards that are just only usable with those planeswalkers. And so, you're not likely to get a great value from them. So my suggestion is actually something a little bit different, and that's to not go with an intro pack, but to go with Deck Builder's Toolkit. Alright, so Deck Builder's Toolkit. So the Deck Builder's Toolkit costs a bit more than the intro pack, but it's actually a pretty good investment. Okay, so there's a couple things that I like better about the Deck Builder's Toolkit. The first thing is you get to actually build a deck. Alright, so you get some cards, and you actually get to build a deck and see what you can make out of those cards. So, now, are you going to be super competitive? Probably not, but at the same time, you're still building your own deck, and if you and a group of friends each buy your own Deck Builder's Toolkit, it's really a great way to start. I really like this idea. Alright, so, and you'll probably be equally powered, or, someone I guess could get an amazing card, but, that's kind of the luck of the draw there. Okay, you have also a better chance to get usable cards. Alright, so in those intro packs, a lot of those cards are just deliberately made to be not usable or not really competitive. So it's just better to try and get some usable cards here, and you'll get that semi-randomized pack of cards in there, which is just might have some staples in there or whatever. So I think it's decent to get that. Okay, it's not that much more expensive. It's probably another, $10 or something like that. But still, asking someone to pay $20 to $25 to get into the game isn't that much of a barrier to entry. Okay, and you can always, if you have a little more money, you can always kick it in and fill out the rest of the commons or uncommons, and make your play sets that you might need. Okay, if you do happen to pull a value card from the Deck Builder's Toolkit, from one of the booster packs in there, then you can also trade that and use that to get the actual cards that you might need. And you have a better chance to get them, mainly because there's more booster packs in there. Alright, the last thing is that, and it seems kind of trivial one, is that you get a box. Right, so you actually get a decent box to store your cards in. So it drives me crazy. It doesn't drive me crazy. It really just kind of breaks my heart when you see new players and they put all their cards into a Ziploc bag and throw it in their binder or something like that. Or they just stick them in their pocket. I'm just like, it just kills me. I almost have to go, feel like you have to go and buy them a proper deck box. So the Deck Builder's Toolkit comes with a box for them to store their cards in and actually take care of the cards. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unbox this one. I know it's a Kaladesh box, and yeah, you guys have probably seen Kaladesh, for quite a while yet. It's not It's not like it just came out or anything like that. But I wanted to unbox it and then see what I could make out of this, and see if there's actually a decent deck that you could play at a kitchen table or whatever against your friends. So with that, let's get started. So the Deck Builder's Toolkit comes wrapped in this cool plastic. It's not really cool. I hate this kind of plastic, but I guess it's good for security reasons. I'm going to just rip this open here. Okay, and here comes with a sleeve. Pop open the sleeve, and it has like a little book in it. You know, probably talking about the world. Okay, so you know, just a little bit intro to Magic stuff. It's not really, you know, anything great. All right, but it does come with a useful box. Okay, so inside that box is a spacer, which you're not going to really need. Okay, some semi-randomized packs of cards, okay, which might be okay, and I'll go through those in a moment. Okay, couple different booster packs from the latest cycles. So you got one Eldritch Moon, one Shadows, couple of Kaladesh. Okay, and then basically an insert on how to actually play the game. Right, so don't really need that for now. Okay, and again, another insert on how to play the game, quick reference guide, and that's going in recycling for me. Right, so after that, I wish it came with a spin down, but that's okay. You can always use a piece of paper just to record your life. There's a land pack, which is always nice, and then your other cards there. All right, so let's see what we get from these. Okay, so just going to open up this first pack here. Alright, so the first pack we have, let's see, Prophetic Prism. So Prophetic Prism, Compelling Deterrence. Okay, so we're getting cards from multiple sets here. Okay, Reckless Scholar. It's right here, Ghoul Seed. Failed Inspection, Ghoul Caller's Accomplice, Ingenious Scab, Spontaneous Mutation, Cemetery Recruitment, Graph Harvest. Okay, Wailing Ghoul. Sorry, I'm trying to make it so the light doesn't reflect on this. Another Prophetic Prism, Lightning Axe, which is actually a pretty decent card. Ulrich's Kindred, Pack Guardian, Blossoming Defense, Ember Eye Wolf, Uncaged Fury, Quilled Wolf, Brazen Wolves, Wolfkin Bond, Ornamental Courage, another Prophetic Prism, Nearheath Chaplain, Haunted Dead, Servo Exhibition, Essence Extraction, Angelic Purge, Dauntless Cathar, Merciless Resolve, Certain Death, Inspired Charge, Lawless Broker, another Prophetic Prism, Experimental Aviator, Glint Nest Crane, Filigree Familiar, Snare Thopter, Terrarion, I actually really like Terrarion, Gearseeker Serpent, Tezzeret's Ambition, Weldfast Wingsmith, Dukara Peafowl, and Consulate Skygate. Now, again, these cards, you know, they're not super value cards or anything like that, but they're also semi-randomized, meaning that they say they're randomized, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty much all the same. What that means, though, is that your friends, if they also get these deck builder toolkits, will kind of start with the same kind of basic set of cards. And so it means that their decks are going to be almost the same power level as yours. So you're not going to have like one guy who just has a ton of extra money, you know, that your one friend with a much better job, and he just buys a better deck and kicks your butt. Okay, so after that, let's see, we got some Self-Assembler, Cinder Barrens. Okay, so that's actually a pretty decent land. It's a tapped land, but it's not bad. Okay, 2 Meandering River, Submerged Boneyards, Timber Gorges. So these are all just your dual land cycles that are all tapped. Forsaken Sanctuary, Foul Orchards, okay, Highland Lake. That's actually a pretty nice set of dual lands. And a cool thing about this is that as you're building your decks, you could actually trade with your friends. So if you each have one of these, you know, they only come with 2, but if you build different color sets, then you could trade with your friends and get the complete play set. The rest is just random lands there, which again, if you're a brand new player to the game, you know, like people that have played a lot are going to have a whole crap ton of lands. Like I've got boxes and boxes of lands, but you know, the people who are new to the game don't really have that. And you know, sometimes even LGSs like sell lands for a ridiculous cost, like sometimes it's like 10 or 25 cents for a land or something like that. You know, I think they should just pretty much give them away for free, but, you know, like, maybe, like, I'm not saying, like, your full art lands or anything like that, but come on, like, if you're selling, like, lands for 25 cents each, that's kind of ridiculous. My LGS doesn't do that, by the way, but anyways. Okay, so then we have new art, Aegis Angel. Okay, this is, I think, originally a Theros card, but it's actually a pretty good card. So when Aegis Angel enters the battlefield, another target permanent gains indestructible, okay, as flying, okay, for as long as you control this Aegis Angel. Okay, so Sphinx of Magosi, Nightmare, Shivan Dragon, okay, Soul of the Harvest. So these are basically, there's one gold or one rare card in every set. Sarah Angel, which is pretty much a staple. Aerial Responder, that's actually a really, really solid card. Right, so Aerial Responder is basically the white equivalent of a Vampire Nighthawk. I think that's a really good card to have in there. Marked by Honor, Cathar's Companion, Puncturing Light. Sigardian Priest doesn't seem like he's that great of a card, but when I played at pre-release, this card did a ton of work for me. Right, so Steadfast Cathar, Aviary Mechanic, Impeccable Timing, okay, Inspired Charge, Air Servant, okay, Long-Finned Sky Whale, Disperse, okay, so you got some counters going, Pieces of the Puzzle, Stitch Mangler. Stitch Mangler is actually a really decent card as well. Exulting Cultist, Take Inventory, okay, a couple of those. Tattered Horror, Revolutionary Rebuff, Senger Vampire. Okay, Senger Vampire is pretty decent. Murder's really good. Mind Rot's actually decent. Okay, so Dead Weight, I missed Walking Corpse. Sanitarium Skeleton. An interesting card because not a lot of creatures can just keep returning from your graveyard to your hand like that. Olivia's Dragoon, Skur's Dag Supplicant, Succumb to Temptation, Lawless Broker, Cone of Flame, Incendiary Flow, Borderland Marauder, Magmatic Chasm, Pyrehound, Sanguinary Mage is actually a pretty decent card with prowess. Tormenting Voice is actually pretty decent as well. Brazen Wolves, Galvanic Bombardment. Okay, 2 Galvanic Bombardments actually. Incremental Growth. Okay, so Arborback Stomper, Oaken Form, Quilled Wolf, and there was another one of these actually in the semi-randomized packs. Watcher in the Web, Grapple with the Past, Prey Upon, Kujar Seed Sculptor, Larger Than Life, Wild Wanderer, Explosive Apparatus, another Terrarion, Filigree Familiar, Consulate Skygate, and Self-Assembler. Alright, so those are your basic cards, and you get a whole bunch of them, which especially for a new player is kind of nice because you get to see like a ton of great cards, which, you know, a ton of basics and commons anyways that, you know, they might not be that great, but you get to really experiment and build different things. Alright, so let's go and see what we got in our packs. Now I'm going to start with the oldest one first, and we'll go with the Shadows of our Innistrad booster pack. Okay, so let's crack that one open, see what we get. Hopefully we get something good. Okay, so Deny Existence. Actually, well, let's go this way. Devilhorn Fox, Furtive Homunculus, Ethereal Guidance, Moldgraph Scavenger. Okay, Voldaran Duelist, Fork in the Road, Vessel of Malignity. Another Sanguinary Mage is actually pretty good. Okay, so our uncommon is Reaper of Flight Moonsilver, and Olivia's Bloodsworn, Stone Quarry, which is decent there, and let's see, the rare is Burn from Within. Okay, so deals X damage to hurt target creature or player. If a creature is dealt damage this way, it loses indestructible until end of turn. If that creature would die this turn, exile instead. So, not bad, not the best card ever. And then you got your flip card, Convicted Killer, and a clue token. There's actually a kind of a cool thing with the clue tokens is there's actually different artwork, and all the clue tokens combined with the Tamiyo's journal cards to actually make a riddle. So, anyways, maybe I'll talk about that another time, but that's kind of old news. Okay, so let's keep going here. So, the second one I'm going to open is the Eldritch Moon booster pack. Okay, so just gonna rip this one open here. Okay, so we got Prey Upon, Olivia's Dragoon, Take Inventory, Wailing Ghoul, Borrowed Malevolence, Borrowed Hostility, Cathar's Shield, Thraben Standard Bearer, okay, Exultant Cultist, Shreds of Sanity, Liliana's Elite, okay, and Lashwood Lurker, and Soul Separator. Alright, so not too bad. Ulvenwald Captive is pretty good, and an Insect Token. Alright. Let's go to Kaladesh. Now, Kaladesh, of course, you have a small chance of picking up a Masterpiece card. Okay, so I'm going to open up this one first. Good luck. You generally shouldn't count on that. Like, I'll be elated if I get one, but, you know, I'm not going to count on it. Okay, so let's see. We have Spontaneous Artist, Built to Last, Select for Inspection, Highspire Artisan, Ambitious Aetherborn, Riparian Tiger, Adara Express, that's actually kind of cool with the crew, so it's one of the vehicle cards, Eager Construct, Malfunction, Glass Blower's Puzzle Knot, Embrawl Bruiser, Cloud Blazer, Era of Innovation, and Concealed Courtyard. That's actually pretty cool. So it's a good land to have. And you get a land and a servo token. Alright, so not too bad. Yeah, I actually appreciate the land. It's, okay, so, and then finally, the last Kaladesh. Now, you're not expecting complete Value Town from these, but it's, you know, it's not too bad. So let's see, we got... Sorry, I'm just trying not to have the light refract on it so like this so you can't see it. Nimble Innovator, Hijack, Skywhirl Harrier, Dramatic Reversal, Appetite for the Unnatural, Night Market Lookout. That's kind of an interesting card. So when Night Market Lookout becomes tapped, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Kind of like the Aristocrats card. So if you had a way of like tapping and untapping him repeatedly, it'd be kind of an interesting card. Sky Skiff, so a vehicle. Propeller Pioneer. Alright. Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot. Salivating Gremlins. Okay, so now we're into the uncommons. Shrewd Negotiation. Fairgrounds Trumpeter, Experimental Aviator, and Architect of the Untamed. So whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get energy, pay, what is that, 8 energy, create a 6/6 colorless beast artifact creature token. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Right, and a forest and a construct. So, you know, we didn't get, you know, I didn't get like the super valuable, you know, artifact cards that I wanted, but hey, you know, you can't really expect those in there. But I think actually these, having this many cards, like I'll show you the stack here. So you get like a stack of this many cards basically to work with, you know, and you can build like a ton of different decks from this. I think that's probably a better way to get people into the game, right? So you can get like something like this, put together a deck with your buddies, you know, like sit around the table, spend some time putting decks together, trade your cards back and forth, and you kind of get more into the spirit of Magic that way. You know, so you got people around the table, like I imagine like 4 people around the table, each have their toolkit, you know, and they're trading cards, talking about what they like, trying to put together, and then playing some matches. And that's really, I think, gets more people into Magic, rather than just going and buying like, you know, $1,500 net deck and just kicking ass at FNM with it. So, anyways, that's my opinion on it. If you do have any comments, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you do like these videos, remember to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.